Am I ready to date? Young people ask. What is dating? You regularly go out with a certain member of the opposite sex. You and a member of the opposite sex are attracted to each other. Several times a day, you send text messages or talk to this person on the phone. Every time you get together with your friends, you pair off with the same person of the opposite sex. You most likely had no problem answering the first question. But you may have paused before responding to the second and the third. Connect with me via WhatsApp, +234 703 247 4726, to get more interesting videos. Please, to support our ministry, remember to like the video, and also find it in your heart to subscribe to our YouTube channel and then gently tap the bell to turn on the notification, so as not to miss out on the next videos. Really, dating is any social activity in which your romantic interest is focused on one particular person, and that person's interest is focused on you. So, the answer to all three questions is yes. Whether on the phone or face-to-face, in the open or in secret, if you and a friend of the opposite sex have a special romantic understanding, and communicate regularly, it's dating. What is the purpose of dating? Dating should have an honorable purpose, to help a young man and woman determine if they want to get married to each other. Granted, some of your peers might take a casual view of dating. Perhaps, they simply enjoy being with a special friend of the opposite sex, without any intention of marriage. Some might even view such a friend as little more than a trophy, or an accessory to be seen with in public to boost their own self-esteem. Often, though, such shallow relationships are short-lived.
Many young ones who date break up with each other a week or two later. They come to view relationships as transitory, which in a sense prepares them for divorce rather than for marriage.
Clearly, when you date someone, you're affecting that person's feelings. So, be sure your intentions are honorable. Luke chapter 6 verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. If you date with no intention of marriage, you are acting like a child who plays with a new toy, and then discards it. Think. Would you like someone to play with your feelings, as if they were some child's toy, to be picked up for a moment, and then quickly abandoned? Then don't do that to someone else. The Bible says that love does not behave indecently. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4-5. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil.
Part of me wants to say that dating should be just for fun, but it's no fun when one person is taking it seriously, and the other isn't.
To prepare for dating and marriage, read 2 Peter chapter 1 verses 5-7, which says, "And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity." And pick one quality you need to work on. In a month's time, see how much you have learned about, and improved in, that quality. Am I old enough to date? At what age, do you think, is it appropriate for a youth to start dating? Now, ask one of your parents the same question. Chances are, your answer is different from that of your parent. Or maybe not. You might be among the many youths who are wisely putting off dating, until they're old enough to know themselves better.
Thinking back 2 years ago, what I would have looked for in a potential mate was so different from what I would look for now. Basically, even at this point I don't trust myself to make such a decision. When I feel that my personality has been stable for a couple of years, then I'll think about dating.
There's another reason why waiting is wise. The Bible uses the phrase, the bloom of youth, to describe the period of life when sexual feelings and romantic emotions first become strong. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not. Let them marry. To maintain close association with one particular member of the opposite sex, while you're still in this phase, can fan the flames of desire, and lead to wrong conduct. True, that might mean little to your peers. Many of them may be all too eager to experiment with sex. But you must, rise above that kind of thinking. Romans chapter 12 verse 2. And be not conformed to this world. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, and acceptable, and perfect will of God. After all, the Bible urges you to flee from sexual immorality. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 18. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. By waiting until you're past the bloom of youth, you can ward off calamity. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 10. Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. Why wait to date? Being pressured to date before you're ready would be like being forced to take a final exam for a course that you've barely started. Obviously, that wouldn't be fair. You need time to study your subject, so that you can become familiar with the kind of problems you'll face in the test. It's similar with dating. Dating is no trivial matter. So, before you're ready to focus on one particular person, you need to take time to study a very important subject, how to build friendships. Later, when you meet the right person, you'll be in a better position to build a solid relationship. After all, a good marriage is the union of two good friends. Waiting to date won't stifle your freedom. On the contrary, it will give you more freedom to rejoice in your youth. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 9. Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. And let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou, that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment. You will also have time to prepare yourself by developing your personality and, most important, your spirituality. Lamentations chapter 3 verse 27. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. In the meantime, you can enjoy the company of the opposite sex. What's the best way to do so? Spend time together in properly supervised mixed groups.
I think it's more fun that way. It's better to have a lot of friends. The group idea is a really good idea, because you get to associate with people who have different personalities.
In contrast, if you focus on one person too soon, you set yourself up for heartache. So, take your time. Use this period of your life to learn how to cultivate and maintain friendships. Later, if you choose to date, you'll have a better idea of who you are, and what you need in a lifelong partner.